Alright, race fans, welcome once again to MaxSpeedTV. We have a special race here tonight, or again this afternoon, here at 2 o'clock Central Time. This is part of the T&D Rustic Decor Short Track Series, a non-points race. This is the Pot of Gold 100 presented by MaxSpeedTV. But before we get into all of the racing stuff, we do want to go over all the sponsors real fast. Of course, on the MaxSpeedTV side of things, we do have MenuRunners.com. Make sure you check them out. If you are a avid gamer, definitely something you want to look into, getting food delivered to you, delivery done right. SimSpeedShop.com. Also, if you are looking to step up your game here on iRacing just a little bit, they have some great looking button boxes and new e-brakes coming out that they just revealed, so make sure you check those out as well. HomeNet Hosting and PC Repair. Name says it up. If you need some great web hosting or PC repair, make sure you check them out. Elite 7 Racing has been here for quite a while now. They are the official team of MaxSpeedTV, so make sure you check them out on their Facebook page and give them a like. Ohio IndyCar League came on not long ago as a sponsor, and also will be being broadcasted coming up shortly by Josh Medlock, so make sure you tune in for them as well. The official sponsor for all awards here for the T&D Short Track Series, that is TJ Woodworking. Again, they are just about done with the trophy for the Truck Series, the winner of their the 360 Series. That is now going to be another series. It's going to be the Super Sport Series. They have hopefully got their plaque, so we'll post those here shortly. And the title sponsor for both series, of course, T&D Rustic Decor, located in Oklahoma. Make sure you check them out on Facebook. I'm sure they can ship some stuff to you. Look for what you need. If you need any rustic items, make sure you check them out. And if nothing else, go on their page and check them out just to let them know you appreciate all they do to keep this league going here. Again, you're watching the T&D Rustic Decor Short Track Series Special Edition Pot of Gold 100. But without further ado, we do have a special guest, you might say, here in the booth with us. So first off, Chuck, welcome to the booth, and how are you doing today?
Hey, doing great. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to this.
Well, obviously it's kind of a different one here. You know, having one of the, well, two league owners. Obviously, I am one as well. But you are the other league owner here, so sitting this race out, putting up $100 on the line. It's kind of a tribute to the drivers, saying thank you for everyone that's come out this season and supporting it. Then obviously we take a week off for holidays, and then we come right back to racing for season 2. Oh, and just get your eyes, your kind of opinion on this anyway. You will be racing in season 2 as well. Taking today off, of course, though. But what are you looking forward to the most with Season 2?
Well, not just Season 2. It's killing me sitting here watching these guys go around the track, and I'm not out there. But, you know, the thing I'm most proud of this league is the caliber of drivers that we've gained. The competition level is through the roof, and I think that drives everybody to drive better. So what am I looking forward to for Season 2? Getting back behind the wheel, trying to figure out how to be faster and you know, get some wins under my belt. But it's not going to be easy with these cats.
It definitely is not going to be easy. This is a very fast group of guys here. And we noticed from Season 1, very respectful. We don't have a whole lot of fighting going on, anything like that. These drivers are very respectful. If they make a mistake, they usually fess up to it pretty easy. And take their wins with their losses and all of that good stuff. Looks like we've got about 11 here. I'm sure there's still a few more that are going to be trickling in. But again, don't expect, you know, this isn't open to the public. This is just a thank you race, kind of, to the ones that were here last season. And there are probably about 5 to 6 or more drivers that are not here today. We know Brett Osborne is off racing in a real race right now, or actually, correction, I believe he's picking up a trailer, but either way, he's not here tonight. And then there's a handful of drivers that are brand new. As much as we'd like to see them race, this is, a thank you to the ones that were here for Season 1. So they are not eligible to race in this one. But Season 2 looks to be even bigger and better than Season 1 was.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And if I had any advice to give, I won't call them new guys because they're not new to iRacing, but the new guys to our league. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Watch some of these other guys. They got a full season under their belts working these short tracks that NASCAR don't typically run, and that's what makes it fun. So you got guys spending millions and millions and millions of hours, well, not millions, but tons of hours building a setup because it's not available on Setup Sync, or there's not a baseline setup for it anywhere. So we've got a lot of talented people.
Yeah, there is a lot.
Sit back and watch and ask for help. These guys are more than willing to help you.
Yeah, and for the ones that are coming out there, I know we have a lot from the UK. Unfortunately, they are not always able to get with us when we practice. But we do have practices on Friday nights at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. That's kind of late for them. 2 o'clock is in the afternoon, so they're able to make the races. But those guys, they're pretty quick anyway, so they do their own practicing. But, if anyone's looking to get into this league, that is the way to do it. Again, we do have a website. It is under maintenance right now, so it is going to be down until probably Monday night coming up. But make sure you check us out on the iRacing side of things. You can do that. We have basic rules. We follow iRacing rules. The big thing is at least D Class 2.5 and above. That's one of our big standards. But yeah, we can get you in here. Just look us up. No Excuses Sim Series. So we have a special group of guys we kind of look for. We want good competition, but attitudes, we don't want that in here, and we have done a good job of really trying to limit that out of here. So if you can fall in that group, you're a good, clean racer, meet the requirements, and you have a good attitude, you're not in here just to go out there and win every race and be better than everybody and quit. That's the kind of people we want. So I think, Chuck, you would agree. If anyone fits in that category, feel free to sign up, and we'll talk to you about getting in.
Absolutely. The more the merrier.
And it looks like we've got about 8.5 minutes here, so we'll real quickly pull up our race analysts here. Partly cloudy, only a 2-mile-an-hour wind. Really, in all honesty, the wind doesn't play too much of a factor here at this track. It's so kind of, you might say, sunk into the ground with these stands that it probably isn't going to play any kind of factor into the race. It is at night, so 65-degree air temp, 65-degree track. So a pretty cool night for racing.
Yep, drivers can expect anywhere between 50 to 57, 60 laps for a fuel run. They're going to be screaming for tires long before that. Their front tires, particularly the right front, with this much grip, is going to wear down pretty quick. About lap 30, they're going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of, 80 to 70, 75% wear on that tire. And it's just going to start pushing. You won't see a whole lot of trucks getting loose like you normally see at Bristol under these temperatures, but they are going to start pushing about lap 12, lap 15.
And that's going to be very interesting.
Fun to watch the guys change their line and figure out how to get around here quick.
And so the question will be, with 100 laps, it's only 53.3 miles, so just over half, because this track is actually, everybody refers it to as a half mile, but it's actually 0.533, so it's not a true half mile. But that's going to make it very interesting. 100 laps, are you going to run the tire game, or are you going to run the fuel game? And that kind of will be determined based on, how cautions work out. If they work out in your favor for where you want to pit, you'll do that. If not, it's all going to be up in the air until we figure out just how many cautions we're going to have here today.
Absolutely right.
Looks like about good.
Biggest difference between Bristol and the other short tracks we've been running, you can get by with some worn tires when you're looking at a one-lane track and you got to hug the bottom. Bristol, people are going to pass you on the outside if they've got freshes on. So you're going to take a lot of thought process to come up with a good pit strategy.
It indeed is here. Looks like we got 12 drivers. Andy Oakley just made it in. Unfortunately, it looks like the 26, that is Doug Pickering's name, is not being pulled in. That is a little unfortunate. Sometimes it does happen, though. We may try to reset here in a minute real fast. But it's part of the sim. We have to deal with it. For some reason, it doesn't always want to pull names of the drivers. But we will try to get that fixed. 5.5 minutes to go. Chuck, you're a driver. Obviously, you'd love to be down there on the track, but you did opt to come up here. And you've said it over and over again. A league owner, and you race, it's not all about winning to you. You just want to see the league grow. So, in your thoughts, you don't want to play favorites, of course, but we have a tradition here in the booth. Who do you think has the shot here? Who would be your pick for possibly coming out with the win?
You know what? I'm gonna go for kind of a long shot. I'm not gonna pick the guy that won the most races during the season, which is Aaron McSparrow. I'm not gonna pick the past season champion, Brian Jones. I think I'll go with Trey Galgon.
Well, I'm gonna go even longer, and just looking at the the practice times here, Rachel Hunt, she's second fastest here. So very interesting there. We're used to seeing yourself, Ed, Aaron sitting in third, Doug Pickering all the way back in sixth. So not quite as high as we're used to seeing him, but yeah, Rachel Hunt 14.615, only .018 off of Trey Galgon. So I think I'm going to go with Rachel here to pull away a win.
Not a bad pick. Now that I think about it, Rachel probably has more experience on this track, in this truck, under this setup than anybody out here. So probably a pretty good pick.
She does indeed. We watch her. We do a lot of testing here at MaxSpeedTV, obviously to perfect our overlays and quality, stuff like that. And it never fails that we will see her in races throughout the week all the time. And again, the official races, they run these tracks. They don't run the tracks that we normally run. So she has a lot more practice here probably than any of these drivers, like you said. So she very well could be the one to look out for. You'd almost say the guy to look out for, but she's the gal to look out for here tonight. Is that she very well could possibly get the win.
Yeah, I just wouldn't count anybody out. These guys are good.
Yeah, definitely. And a little bit here, we were just getting race control messaging us. It is a $100 purse here tonight. It's not $100 to win. That will be broken up. I believe what is the top three that will break it up, Chuck?
Yeah, it's 50 to the winner, 25 to second, 15 to third, and then as a bonus and as encouragement to drive clean, we're giving $10 to the guy that finishes in the highest position with 0 incident points. So without making contact to anybody else, the wall, or another driver.
And that very well could be, anyone out here. You could finish 8th and be the first car with 0 incident points. So, just because you're not, per se in contention to win the race, doesn't mean you can't walk away with a little bit of cash in hand, or PayPal in hand for that case. So that will make it kind of interesting, throughout a little bit further in the field. And we may see some of these guys, if you can get up front and stay out front and avoid any incidents, you could pick up that $10 as well. So that's going to be something everybody's going to be fighting for, not just your top 3. It looks like we got about a minute 50 left here. So again, we want to thank all the sponsors for coming in tonight, this series. TJ Woodworking and T&D Rustic Decor. T&D's been here for 5 seasons, I believe, so they've been here for quite some time now, for 2017 and 18. TJ Woodworking just coming on, and to see the work he does is just awesome.
Yeah, he can bring a photo to life, basically.
He can, indeed. He did a fantastic job of it. Taking a look here, we just saw Aaron Maspero run a fast time, 14.551. He's going to be up there as well, trying to battle for that lead. He won the most races this season, so he's looking to continue that winning streak.
Can't count him out. Obviously, he's picking up a line, figuring out the setup, and we didn't say that, but it's a fixed setup for everybody. So it's everybody's going to have to figure out the right driving lane for it.
Yeah, it's a tough track. It looks like just now you see Philip Daniel Jr. is connecting, so he too is going to make the race. And also saw Sahil Mustak came in just a moment or two ago, so the field is starting to fill up now. We're getting those last-minute drivers able to connect in here with about 15 seconds left in practice. I don't know. It's going to be tough here. Ed's sitting in 4th place right now. He may have a shot at this too. He has not had the best luck here this season. But again, the season is over. This is just out there trying to get a little cash and get a win. So maybe with any luck, he can turn it around here as practice has just come to an end.
Yep, he's a trooper. He's sticking with it.
He is indeed a very trooper. As we're going to switch over to our main race cam here and follow Rachel Hunt is going to be the first driver to come out of pit road. And I have to say, I just love that paint job. I mean, Reese's are always good, and to see her running the Reese's paint job here is just awesome. We'll see how the times stack up. Scott Page, another one I think we need to be looking for here tonight, as Brian Jones puts in a time. But they're all sorting in 14.618 for Rachel Hunt, with Doug Pickering running a 14.537. One of your teammates here, Ed Sauls, we just talked about not counting that. He's a trooper. He ran a 14.558. He's in 2nd place right now, so a very good run for him. He definitely may have been holding something back in practice to bring out here for qualifying.
Well, and not a bad starting spot if you can start out on. Well, there's Aaron, just as we talk. Move up to the top of the leaderboard, but that outside line's not a bad place to start on this track.
It is not a bad spot.
Pretty much that first lap, that start, you can keep your foot on the floor and take her around.
And it's going to be interesting and tough. And this track is so different than a lot of the tracks, especially with the banking on this track. It's one of those self-cleaning tracks, so, the outside lane is not a bad spot to be, like you said. If somebody wrecks on the outside, yes, if you're right there on them, you're probably going to get involved in it. On the flip side of that, though, if you're up there and it's a little ways ahead of you, this track self-cleans itself with that banking. They will slide down the track. So, if you're too wide on the high side, you stand the better chance of avoiding getting involved in the wreck. So, as far as that goes, like you said, the outside is the preferred place to be. So we'll just have to see if any of that happens here tonight, as Scott Page is going to put it to 7th with a 14.671.
Yeah, it looks like Philip Daniels might have caught a little wall there on his coming to green lap, and really took him off of his game there.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you want to do here in qualifying, especially putting him back in 11th. But Landon Heidi has not put in the time, as he will there and pass him with a 14.988. But Andy Oakley has not put in a time that counted. He did put in a 14.877, but as far as best time, it did not count, so he may have got a piece of the wall as well.
Hey, that wall's tricky. It'll jump right at you.
It will indeed. And speaking of tricky, pit road. You're going to have to know where you're pitting here. It looks like everybody's going to pit on the front stretch, as there's only 13 of them here, which means everybody will have to enter on the back stretch. So this track is a little bit different. There's not one entrance. There's actually two. If you're on the front stretch, you enter on the back stretch, and vice versa. If you're on the back stretch, you enter on the front stretch. So, lucky for them, there's only 13 of them here, so they don't have to worry about that. As it can get kind of confusing if you lose track of your bearings and where you're at.
Well, to say that Season 1 didn't have its challenges, or Season 1 didn't have its challenges on pit road, learning some of these shorter tracks, that'd be an understatement. Bristol is pretty wide open compared to some of those we were running. These guys won't have a problem here.
Yeah, definitely I won't have a problem. We had our challenges for sure, especially with pit road. We had issues, and we've seen it since then doing another series we cover here on MaxSpeedTV, where the pace car decided to dip off and give the green flag on the backstretch. So we have seen all sorts of craziness going on, but qualifying is just about over. So yeah, we got about 15 seconds. Any final thoughts here before we get ready for the race?
Just excited to watch these guys from this view. Again, wish I was there, but just these guys put on a show, and I'm just happy to be here to watch it.
Yes, it is a fantastic show for sure. Different seat for you, I'm sure. Obviously, you're used to the race seat, but you're trading that in here tonight for the little bit more comfortable seat here in the booth, as we are gridding for the race. So we'll get that lineup for you here, as it looks like Aaron Maspero is going to be your top driver here tonight in qualifying. Yeah, it's just a minute here to get everything sorted out so we can get the last minute stuff in. We did reset the overlays here real fast for you, so that hopefully we can get Doug Pickering's name in there. But he is going to be starting on the outside, so we'll go ahead and go through your Walls of Beard Co. starting grid. Starting on row 1 is going to be Aaron Maspero and Doug Pickering. Row 2 is going to be Ed Sauls and Trey Galgon. Row 3 is going to be Brian Jones and Rachel Hunt. Row 4 is going to be Scott Page and Caleb Weekly. Row 5 is going to be Shahil Mustang and Michael Given. Row 6 is going to be Landon Heidi and Philip Daniels Jr. And rounding out row 7 here is going to be Andy Oakley, and only a few drivers that have not taken the grid yet. We're waiting on Caleb Weekly and Sahil Mustang, and now it looks like Sahil is going to be there. So Caleb Weekly, the last driver to take to the grid, and we will be starting this race here probably within the next minute and a half. 100 laps is what they have to run. So it's going to be a long race, but at the same time, it's not going to take that long to complete.
Oh, it won't. I expect these guys will find their groove, and we'll probably have quite a few green flag laps.
Yeah, definitely. I'm predicting maybe a caution or two, and I have a feeling we're going to see several single car incidents just for tire wear. Somebody trying to push it a little bit more than they probably should, and it's just going to be spinning out coming out of a corner. But I don't see too many multiple car wrecks here tonight.
No, not with these guys.
Again, 13 drivers, but you see just how stacked the field looks here with just a tiny little track like this. And I almost forgot, we want to thank everybody for tuning in chat tonight, watching this race. Looks like we got quite a few people in there watching. But thanks for tuning in. Again, it's not like you have much else to watch. The Martinsville race snowed out by all things. So it's snowed out. So for everyone that's watching, thanks for tuning in here tonight. Looks like the pace car should be dipping off here in just a second. The lights are off, and there it is once again, as we are just about ready to start it. There it is. Green flag is out, and we're racing for the first time here at Bristol Motor Speedway here at the TND Short Track Series special event, and they're already starting to mix it up at the front.
What a move by Doug Pickering. Dove to the inside.
He did indeed. And those two work together. I believe they're teammates, so you know they're going to race each other clean. But that was a gutsy move, to say the least, as he dove it to the inside, and he will take the lead here. As it's going to be still a drag race to the line, though, but I believe he will do it. But McSparrow's not giving him any room right now. Oh, he's giving him lots of room, I might say, but he's not giving him a whole lot of room to stay up front, as he's actually going to pass him back. What a battle for the lead. We've already had 2 leaders here, and we are only on lap 4.
Well, and this goes to the talent level we were talking about earlier. That is something you're not going to see hardly in any other leagues. That was some amazing driving. That's all there was to it. That's trust in each other and not to reckon to one another, and trust in your talents.
It is indeed. And while you were talking back there, we saw Trey Galgon, I believe it was him, and now Ed Saul's going to do it. Sparks flying off the outside walls. These guys are scraping it, but not managing to keep it straight, though, as Ed Saul's going to do it again. He has hit the outside wall in turn 4 several laps in a row, but he has plenty of room from Trey Galgon in the 24. He is still scraping the wall. He's really liking to run that high line right now.
You got to be patient, and you know we've talked about this. You cannot overdrive the truck in these first couple laps. You can't worry about that guy getting out ahead of you. You all have the same setup, so you just need to be a little patient. The ones out front are going to wear their front tires a little faster. Just be patient, and you can't do that if you're bouncing off the walls.
This is true, and we're sitting there watching. We jump back to Scott Page real fast. They are showing a lot of patience back here. Scott Page, Brian Jones, Rachel Hunt. Again, Brian Jones was the season 1 champion of 2018. Obviously, you came in a short second by 2 points right there. They're showing a lot of patience right now. They look like they were going to take it 3 wide. They kind of settled it out and took it 2 wide, and they've worked it all out here. As you see, Brian Jones still trying to run down Scott Page for 6th position right now.
Yeah, it looks like Trey and Ed are settling in. Looks like they're starting to run down the leaders a little bit here.
They definitely are. Only got 0.133 seconds separating Aaron Maspero and Doug Pickering. Ed Saul's 0.533 behind them, and just probably 0.05 behind him is Trey. So like you said, they're all running down the leaders now. And so far, we're on lap 13 of 100, caution-free here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And I have a feeling it's going to stay that way. These guys are just going to kind of settle in and run it out here and see what happens. You know, somebody's bound to make a mistake at one point. As good as they are, mistakes will happen. And when it does, that is when you're going to see these guys make their move.
Yeah, and you also don't know if the 2 up front have just kind of slowed down their pace trying to save tires as well. You know, you don't know if you're not in the seat. Ed and Trey are being smart, giving each other plenty of room, not trying to race each other, and just trying to catch up with the leaders.
Yeah, and very interesting here. We look back to the 00 Scott Page, 15.083. So he's actually back in 6th place, but he's faster than the 5 cars ahead of him as they're running 15.1. So Scott Page just ran a 15.1 as well. So he's clearly can run a faster lap here on these older tires, but he's got to just bide his time, and he's doing it very well as he's moved up quite a few spots, and he's right now trying to work over Sahil Mustak in the number 18, and Sahil's doing a good job of holding him off, but the question is, can he hold him off for the entire race?
Yeah, it's tough. You start getting into this run, and you're going to try and pass somebody on the bottom, and they fight you. You're putting a lot of wear on those front tires.
Are indeed. And sorry to cut you off there. Ed Saul's got into the outside wall, and he lost 2 spots there to Trey Galgon and Sahil. And it looks like Scott Page is going to try to capitalize off of it as well. And when we talked to you earlier, we were talking about 12 to 15 laps. These guys are going to be screaming for new tires. We're on lap 21, so they have 20 complete laps on these tires already. So you know at this point those tires are showing some wear, and that could have been why you saw the 81 of Ed Sauls get into that outside wall.
Yeah, they're pushing really bad at this point right now. You're not going to run into these corners at the same speed you were. You need to start looking for another line to run where the truck's more comfortable and handling through that turn and give you a good exit.
Indeed, it's true, and it looks like our leader, Aaron Maspero, is actually running down Caleb Weekly, who is right now a threat of going a lap down early in this race. But again, if you do have a caution, you can get that back. But this is short track racing, and it looks like he has heavy damage to the right side of that truck as well. So he's going to pull it down to the inside and let the leaders go. He's not going to battle them. Again, we talked about the respect level here. He knows he doesn't have the truck to win right now, especially with that damage to the side of it. So he's going to let them go. He's not going to hold them up. It's just not worth it to hold up the leaders and possibly cause both of you to wreck.
And Caleb is one of our younger drivers. First league he'd ever been in. In fact, he hadn't even ran Open Series at all. And you know, he's come a long way since his first race with us, and got a lot of respect for that driver. He'll be back with us towards the end of Season 2 and Season 3. He'll take a little bit of break to get some schoolwork done, but looking forward to getting him back and helping him to continue to grow as a driver. Yeah,
definitely a great driver. He's going to let the third and fourth place go. Car go by. Brian Jones going to pass him as well. So he's letting them by pretty easy. He's still going full power, but you know he's not just going to hand it over, but he's not going to battle for someone who's not really battling with him anyway. But Aaron Maspero, he is out front right now. Now he's running down Landon Heidi, fixing to put him a lap down as well. So those front two are on rails right now as far as putting guys a lap down. But you know it's not just them. Everybody behind them's running really good as well. But Aaron Maspero has a .899 second lead, now .916 lead over Doug Pickering, and those two work together to see him that much faster than one of his own teammates is kind of interesting here.
Problem is, and these guys know this. We've been running short tracks now for a whole season. They watch each other drive. Problem is, Aaron has found the right line. The only way to catch somebody that's faster than you is to change your line. If that guy that's faster than you is already running the perfect line, you're not going to run him down. You're going to end up overdriving your truck most likely. You need to just settle back. You're gonna have to do a little luck as well. Start hoping for a caution. Don't be the caution. We see Brian Jones go around Trey Calgon. Just got to be patient in here. There are going to have to be pits. Anything can happen at this point.
Yeah, and if we continue on this trend, it's going to be green flag pit stops, which means that is the time you have to be perfect on your pit stop. We have seen mistakes being made before on pit road, and those are some of what we like to refer to as self-inflicted wounds. If you shoot your pit stall, you pit too far back, too far to the right or left, or anything like that, speeding on pit road, as Brian Jones is going to scrape the wall just a little bit. All of those are stuff that you, as a driver, do yourself. And you don't want to do them, but unfortunately, sometimes they do happen. So it looks like that may be the case. As we're creeping up on lap 40 here in the next 4 laps.
And you bring up a great point. You're going to be pitting on really worn out front tires. The odds of sliding it through your pit stall is pretty good now. You're also hopped up after you just ran 50-some laps under green. So anything can happen on pit road, but I would just about bet that would be the number one fault for somebody. More people are going to slide through their pit than anything.
And I'm not sure we lost Philip Daniels Jr. He is not, so we can't get a word in with him here. He's packed it up for the night. Philip Daniels Jr., 23 laps down right now. He is out of the race, so something happened early in the race that we did not catch. It didn't bring out a caution either, but he is out of the race, the only car out of this race right now. But Michael Given, Andy Oakley, Landon Heidi, and Caleb Weekly all 1 lap down. as Rachel Hunt may be the next, she is the next one a threat to go a lap down, but right at the moment she is not too far, but she's not too close to the leaders either, but she's the next car that probably will go a lap down here, I would say in the next 2 or 3 laps.
Well, as usual, Aaron is putting on a clinic. You cannot deny this guy's talent. He is one of the best racers I've raced against.
Yeah, it's
him and Doug and Sahil and Brian. Very good driver.
I just love looking at his truck because you see him there. He is running that Miller Genuine Draft paint scheme out there. Clearly, he has not had any of that on race day because he is not driving intoxicated like at all. He is driving to perfection out there on the track, and he's putting people a lap down. But caution comes out. Those guys stay ahead of the leader. They're all back on the lead lap. It's only 1 lap right now, except for Caleb Weekly, who is now 2 laps down. But like you said, he is definitely putting a clinic on here tonight.
Looks like you got Sahil getting ready to challenge Doug Pickering for 2nd place, and he passes him. And
he passes him very, very easily there too, for the most part. As Doug, we saw that gutsy move. You might say it was a very easy move for him. He's used to doing it. He jumped out to the front. He may have burned up those tires just a little bit, trying to get the lead as fast as he did lead 2 laps. But now maybe paying the price for it here, as he's sitting back in 3rd place. Those tires are just probably are a little bit shot, and I think here in the next probably 5 to 7 laps probably, we're about to start seeing some green flag pit stops.
Yep, you have quite a few guys praying for a caution. They are looking for Sasquatch and water bottles out on the track, and don't see either, so unfortunate for them. They're going to have to do it under green.
Yeah, and the question is, who's going to be the first one to come to pit road? To be that first car to come pit road, you kind of set the stay or the motion up, or whatever you want to call it. Set the ball in motion of rolling as for everyone else to come in. We're looking at times right now. 14.7 for Aaron Maspero is his fastest time, but he's running 15.5s right now, so almost a second behind, as it looks like he's going to get by Landon Heidi one more time. So almost a second off the pace from his fastest lap here, as we are right now halfway done.
Doug Pickering entering the pits. And I was just going to say, if I was Ed Saul, Scott Page, and Trey Galgon, I'd have thought about short pitting probably about 10 laps ago.
Yeah, because you definitely can make it on fuel.
Second, or half a second advantage on the leader.
Yeah, he definitely could, as he's going to be the only one. Nope, there's Sahil Mustat coming down pit road, as well as Brian Jones going to come down. So far, the only ones that have not come down, Aaron Maspero has not come down. Trey Galgon has not come down either. Scott Page, Ed Sauls, and Rachel Hunt, who is actually a lap down. So several drivers have not come down yet, as we're on lap 53, now 54 of 100. It's going to be interesting. I'm not sure how much longer Aaron Maspero or Trey Galgon, Scott Page, or Ed Sauls can stay out on those old tires here. They are going to put everyone about 2 laps down. But the problem is, right now with only 12 drivers on track, you ideally would love to see a caution and trap them a lap down, but you're the one on the old tire, so you're the one that's possibly the risk of bringing out that caution.
Oh, that's true. And look at this wadding up here at the front. You got Ed, Aaron trying to put Ed a lap down, Ed fighting to keep his lap, and we got Aaron sideways.
Caleb Weekly getting into the back bumper. I don't think that maybe was as much Caleb Weekly's fault as it looked like it might have been. I'm wondering if Aaron Maspero was actually already wanting to come down pit road and trying to slow down, and maybe Caleb Weekly didn't know it.
Yep, I think that's the case. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. We may have a penalty on the 41 for hitting the cone at the pit entrance.
Well, definitely, I'm not sure what race control will do about that. That is a new scenario. But definitely, he probably wouldn't have hit it if he didn't have the help from Caleb Weekly. But then again, Caleb Weekly didn't know if he was going to pit possibly. So, you know, that is a very, you know, different situation there.
Well, Aaron's back on the track. I'm not sure. I didn't see his time in pit road, but it doesn't appear that he was held up for 15 seconds. That's all that penalty would have been.
Yeah, he was actually on pit road 29 seconds, but his pit stop was only 15.6 seconds. So, doesn't look like he was held at all. So, either he chose not to, actually he couldn't, there would be no choosing to disobey that penalty. He would have been held regardless after his pit stop was complete, so he did not have a penalty. That's good for news for him, because that could have spelled disaster, as he's currently in 5th place right now. You think about it though, in the long, on the, you know, the grand scheme of things, that's probably, as he still has damage back there, probably the best time to get damage is when you're already coming down the pit road anyway, so you can get it fixed very quickly.
And it does look like his spoiler's a little caved in there in the back, but
yeah,
I've seen him drive with worse.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect him too much anyway. Not on this track. The car I'm keeping an eye on is Scott Page right now. 63 laps on those tires. He's been out there. He has not pitted yet at all. So I don't know how much more many laps he can do, as it looks like he's going to pull it in here. So he definitely needs to get in there and get some fuel if he can even make it. He may run out of fuel getting to his pit stall with 63 laps on him.
He definitely took it down to the bottom of the barrel there.
And he will.
You got to take a chance. If you're running that far back, you're gonna make some changes in your strategy and hope for the best. And that one didn't pay out.
No, that one did not pay out for him, but still a good move regardless. It looks like he can probably rebound here as he's going to go a lap down now. Aaron Maspero regaining the lead once again. And one thing I just want to say while we're looking here, watching the leader go and try to put down the Michael, giving another lap down. We have gone caution-free 66 laps. That's what lap we're on right now, caution-free. So, you know, probably the best race of the season so far, as we have had 0 cautions.
Well, that's what I said. The talent level of these guys is second to none, and I would put them up against any league or anybody. They, especially professionalism when they're racing. You know, I'm sure Aaron was upset, but I'm sure nothing was said about it. You know, things happen on a racetrack, especially on a short track.
Yeah, and definitely, you know, he was. It was probably just a, you know, something simple. You know, he was pitting. He didn't think someone else didn't know he was going in. It did give him a little damage, but obviously it didn't slow his truck down, and he's back out front. But Sahil Mustak is running him down right now, and he very well may be able to catch him here as we look at the top 3 once again. .299 separate first and second right now, and that is a difference of $50 versus I believe it was $25. So I mean, that's a difference in a little bit of a paycheck here today.
Yeah, kind of curious of what's going on with Doug. Doug's really fallen back off the pace compared to what he was running earlier. Maybe he's trying to save a little tires this time for the final run, realizing that this thing could go green all the way.
Yeah, and you're probably very right there. You know, even with the skill level we've had cautions in this series. Oh, just about any form of racing, if there's cautions, you're going to have one. But they were probably banking on having at least 2 cautions here, so he thought, I'll gun it to the front, get up there. And that strategy went out the window as we're on lap 73 now. We have completed almost 3/4 of this race, and we have not had a single caution. So these guys, everything they knew in their little booklets of how this series has gone so far, it's out the window. Luckily, it didn't bring out a caution with all that paper flying anywhere. But that whole book it's done. It's scrapped at this point. They are on a whole different playbook here that may go caution-free for this entire race.
Well, I'd say odds are in favor of that happening. I mean, the thing about these trucks on this track with this fixed setup that's in it, you're not going to get loose. You're going to push, and if anything is going to bring out a caution, it's going to be somebody running into one of the walls coming out of a turn and then bouncing into the infield wall, or hitting another truck. But other than that, you're not going to see any single cars just getting loose by themselves.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this track is both sides of the tracks have pit stalls. So, you know, if you hit the wall at the wrong time, if you hit it mid-turn, there is a slight, probably about 30 to 40% chance that you're going to hit that wall, and you still have a chance that it may spin you out enough that you actually come down pit road. And with that wall there on both sides for the inside wall, you won't make it back onto the track. So there's not going to be a caution. So
very good point.
That plays a factor here tonight. You would have to hit it just perfect to do that, but it is a possibility that it could happen. And I believe we've seen it happen before in other races. But it's going to be interesting if we do have one here with 20 to go this time by. It would definitely bring out a shootout scenario, and 28 laps on their tires. Somebody, I don't know who, but I guarantee you somebody would try to chance it out there and not take tires.
It would be a mistake. This track is too open. You can pass on the outside, as we've seen. You can pass at the bottom. You can pass in the middle. To be on old tires that you're gonna give up, 4 or 5 tenths right off the bat. Would be a mistake, even with 10 laps left.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. As we're sitting here watching Doug Pickering right now, he's really got no competition. He's got a good battle going on, but that is the 24 and the 18. The 24 is 1 lap down. Brian Jones is the only other car on the lead lap, so 4 guys on the lead lap right now. But again, it's not that they have damage or anything. It's just showing how fast these front couple are, that they're putting these guys a lap down. But right now, 33 laps on their tires. Aaron Vespero only has 28 on his tires. So he actually has less laps on his tires right now than anybody else. But again, he did pit a little bit later.
Well, I think I mentioned it before. I wouldn't be surprised if Doug just let those two go, Trey and Ed. Doug is comfortably in 3rd place. He's not trying to eat up his tires this run. As you can see, Trey and Ed are starting to reel in Sahil a little bit. Problem is, they're going to have enough tires left when they catch him.
Well, and that too, Ed and Trey are both a lap down. So, again, they're going to have to get their lap back somehow before they can even really be a contender here. So, again, we have Aaron Vespero, Sahil Mustak, Doug Pickering, and Brian Jones, the 4 cars on the lead lap out of the 11 on the track. And just checking in, Andy Oakley now 27 laps down. He's actually out of the race too. So, again, one of those not sure what happened to him, as he is out of radio control, so we can't talk to him. But he is also out of this race here with 12 laps to go.
Well, and it's kind of the problem with iRacing, as you alluded to earlier. If there was, if a guy spun out and it stayed on the inside of the track, but yet, bashed up against that inside wall, may not have thrown the caution. Probably wouldn't have thrown a caution as long as they're off the racing surface.
Yeah,
so
indeed.
We may not have seen it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Aaron Vespero out front here. 10 to go, and now 9 laps to go. So we're into single digits territory. We get to about 6 to go. At that point, it could end the race if we had a caution. Of course, nobody wants to see that. This is the best case scenario. Run it out and let the drivers decide who's going to be the winner. But, at this point, I'd be safe to say, unless Aaron Vespero just, gets his nose itches or something and he spins it out on his own, he has a good chance.
We got a little race going on back here. Brian Jones is caught up to Doug Pickering, running him down for 3rd place. See how this goes.
And that's really the only battle, if you want to talk about any battling going on, and that's a battle for $15. So Doug Pickering's currently in the money, but Brian Jones is like, you know what? I'm a season champion. I want to come up here and get some money too, to prove that that wasn't a fluke. I know what I'm doing, and he is trying to do it. And the question is, can he? They both have 43, 44 laps on their tires. So both of them are just like, give me some new tires. But 5 laps to go, even if a caution comes out and we do go racing again, nobody's coming down pit road.
Oh. You know, I found myself last season in the run with Doug or Brian Jones, and I'm here to tell you, this guy never gives up. He's a good, solid, hard racing driver. He's not going to give you room, but he's not going to wreck you either. But, I wouldn't be surprised if you can keep up with him. Just go down to the last lap.
It very well could be a last lap pass, and he's going to try everything he has in his power to get by him. He will be looking somewhere in that cab of the truck, see if he has a NOS button somewhere. He can get a boost of speed from somewhere. But he is right there. Now you have Ed Sauls in front of him. Ed Sauls is going to get loose, and there goes Brian Jones as well. So that is unfortunate for Brian, but no caution comes out. The white flag's in the air. So this race will not end under caution, as that is not what he wanted to see.
Just give it, you know, sometimes you cross that line, or your truck is capable of doing, and it happens. That's racing.
It is indeed. Definitely not what Brian wanted to see. Is he'll finish in 5th, though, 1 lap down, so that will put Trey Galgon in 4th, Doug Pickering 3rd, Stahil Mustak 3rd, and Aaron Maspero going to bring home the win once again. So not sure, Ed got a little loose there in front of them, but again, those tires were so old, normally that would not cause him to spin out. But with those old of tires, you know, having to check up that quick, just probably locked up that truck.
Yeah, probably just a little hard on the brakes.
Well, give us just a moment here, folks. We're going to be right back, and we are going to get those top 3 drivers in here for the post-race show. So we'll be right back here in just a moment with your post-race show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with your post-race show. We have your top 3 drivers here, so we can get a word in with them. Starting with 3rd place, of course, we do have the 26 of Doug Pickering, and it looks like Chuck Kemper has caught up with him. So, Chuck, we will hand the mic over to you.
Doug Pickering, congratulations. You not only finished 3rd, you also finished highest with 0 incident points. That gives you an extra $10. Congratulations. Kind of looked like, man, I tell you what, we talked about that move at the beginning of the race. That was pretty spectacular. Diving down, I think it was, what, lap 2, diving down to the bottom of Aaron and kind of briefly getting out there to the lead. Did you just kind of wear out those front tires after a while? Was that what was going on?
Yeah, I'm used to a car that I know how to handle, and I didn't do any long runs on this cold weather half fuel, so it got tight on me. So it's life, innit? Don't prepare, don't come first.
It was a spectacular show up front, and you know, all season, last season, you guys were up top and clean drivers, and from as league owners' perspective, we greatly appreciate it, and thank you for what you've done for our league.
Oh, no, thank you for putting it on. Thank you for putting this race on. We really enjoy it. It's you know, it's good. We have they're all good, clean races. You know, it's yeah, it's a good league. Thank you.
All right, my man, we'll get caught up with you so we can figure out how to get you some little American money there.
Well,
back to you there, Cody.
All right. Finishing in a second place is the number 18 of Sahil Mustang. First off, Sahil, you put on a good run here, finishing in a second. We're just curious, did you have anything for Aaron here tonight?
Probably not. I mean, on that first run, working through the traffic after starting all the way at the back, was it ninth I started, yeah. So getting up to second was a nice bonus, but then, just watching Aaron just pull away from me even then. When Aaron's pulling away from you in traffic, you gotta step up your game, but I just didn't have anything for him.
Well, you still put on a good run. Overall, it wasn't a points race, it wasn't anything like that, but you did bring home $25. So, that's $25 you didn't have before coming into this race. So, do you have any plans that you want to spend that on? Have any tracks or cars maybe you're looking forward to getting, or are you just going to spend it on some good old food, or any plans for that $25?
I haven't actually thought about it. Probably actually, now that you say it, I'll probably spend it on the tracks for next season.
Well, there you go. Putting it to good use here. Any sponsors, shout out you want to give for that second place finish here today?
Oh, just you guys for putting the races on and making this one a money race, as well as Doug for all the setup he's done all season, and get into race with Doug, Aaron, and everyone else in the series. And just finishing second to Aaron. There's it's basically no other driver you shouldn't really want to finish second behind, but Aaron's probably the best out there to be finishing behind.
All right. Well, again, congrats on second place and the $25. But speaking of Aaron, finishing one spot ahead of him in the number 41 machine. First off, Aaron, congrats on the win here tonight. $50 richer. I just have to know, did anybody, especially you coming away in the win, you led for 91 of the laps here today. Did you think this thing was going to go caution-free the entire race?
You never know, do you? Short track racing. We did a race earlier, a non-points race earlier at Bristol in the year, and it went almost caution-free. So I had an inkling that it might, but you never quite know. And especially towards the end now, there was a few cars that looked like they were getting a bit loose. So I was waiting for it, I have to say.
Well, definitely an awesome race to go caution-free. When you have a caution-free race like this, and you don't know until it happens, but knowing that you're going in and you have to make a green flag pit stop, you can't make the mistakes. If you make a little bit of mistake under caution, under a pit stop, it's one thing. But under green, it's a whole different ball game there. And we saw earlier when you went in to make your pit stop, got a little bump from the 12. Wasn't sure what was going on there. So if you might tell us there, looked like maybe you were going to pit and maybe the 12 didn't realize you were coming in right then, or something happened. But you did get a little bump. It didn't hurt you here, and you still managed to get the win.
Yeah, it's probably my fault, to be honest. Caleb had just come out of the pits, and I didn't make it. Obviously didn't make it obvious enough that I was pitting that lap. So, yeah, sorry to Caleb about that, and it made it a bit more interesting after we came out, and so he almost got me in the traffic there. But we just about held it off. I'm guessing he pitted a few laps earlier than I did, but I'll be honest, when you're out there, it's hard to know what's going on.
Yeah, it is very tough to know what everyone else is doing on the track, especially, you get these bigger tracks that we don't run. You have more room to get around, but a 0.533 mile track, a very tiny track, so everything that you're doing is amplified because it's so small, it's happened so fast. But, in the end here, again, you led 91 laps, dominating performance here. We wouldn't expect anything less after your performance in Season 1. So, again, $50 richer, and are you looking forward to Season 2?
Oh, yeah, I'm stoked to get going, to be honest. I think my car counts are probably going to be up a little bit at the start, and I really like some of the tracks, Rockingham especially. It's one of my favourites. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting going.
Well, again, any shout-outs or sponsors you want to give for bringing home that win and $50 here tonight?
Yeah, so CMX, Midwest Express are coming on the truck for next season, so a big shout out to them and guys at Fastlane and just you guys. It's so good to be able to run a league, such a well organised league in a Euro-friendly time. It's a refreshing change, and we just want to thank you guys.
Well, we do definitely try. But again, $50 richer is the number 41 of Aaron Maspero, bringing home the win here tonight. We're not done just yet, though, folks. We still have your post-race results to go through, and again, all the sponsors on board. So without further ado, we'll pull up your race results. Again, coming away with the win is going to be Aaron Maspero in first, followed by Sahil Mustak second. Third place, Doug Pickering. Fourth place, Trey Galgon. Fifth place, Brian Jones. Sixth place will go to Scott Page. Seventh place, Rachel Hunt. Eighth place, Ed Sauls. Ninth place, Michael Given. And rounding out your top 10 here tonight will be Landon Heidi. 11th place will go to Caleb Weekly. 12th place, Andy Oakley. And 13th will go to Philip Daniels Jr. So that will finish up the fields here tonight. We do want to also always give a big shout out to all the sponsors on board here at MaxSpeedTV. Menu Runners, Sim Speed Shop, HomeNet Hosting and PC Repair, Elite 7 Racing, and Ohio IndyCar League for all sponsoring MaxSpeedTV. Of course, if you're looking to get some exposure for your business, make sure you message us on our Facebook page, and we can get you hooked up with some great advertising space here on MaxSpeedTV. On the racing side of things, TJ Woodworking coming on this year for the official award sponsor for both this series, and coming up will be the new series going to be coming in place of the 360s. That will be the Super Sports Series. And of course, the title sponsor for both of those is T&D Rustic Decor. Big shout out for them for coming on board. They've been here for about 5 seasons so far, with 2017 and 2018. Again, that will do it here for all the sponsors. A great race here at Bristol Motor Speedway, caution free for the T&D Short Track Series. So to wrap it all up, Chuck, any final words before we sign off for the night?
Well, we talked about Season 2, and I'm telling you right now, we have got a lot of work to do to keep up with Aaron and his crew. Like I think it was Sahil that mentioned it. You know, Aaron is one of the best I've ever seen. He is a top-notch driver. It'll take a little work to get up there with that guy, and looking forward to the challenge.
Well, it definitely is going to be a challenge, but a challenge that is got a lot of reward if you can beat him. It is kind of a a reward in itself if you can get one of these guys beat here. That would put him, I believe, 5 in a row here with this money race. But that is all coming up here. We take a week off, but we'll be right back on the 8th of April and the 9th of April, as obviously we do not want to race on Easter and April Fools all at the same time. So we will take that holiday off, but we'll be right back here in about 2 weeks. So make sure you stay tuned in for the T&D Short Track Series and the T&D Super Sport Series starting on April 8th and 9th. And make sure you check it out at nestracing.net. Website is actually down at the moment for maintenance, but it will be back up here Monday night, maybe Monday afternoon. So as always here on MaxSpeedTV, have a great afternoon, and actually we'll see you back here at 7:10 Central Time for the race core race coming up here again in just a few hours. So we'll see you then.